Hey everyone, okay, if you've ever struggled with an injury and the mental side of getting back on track, I'm going to do a quick video with a couple of tips that will hopefully support you going forward. I got a question during the week about somebody asking how to deal with the mental side of an injury, about trying to get fat or losing your muscle, or just decreasing your sporting performance and worrying about that. As someone that's had a lot of impact injuries, I've had 3 knee surgeries. I know the mental side of an injury is nearly harder than the actual physical repair and the rehab back. So there's a couple of things that I do and that I've done and I do with my clients, particularly people that come through my online program or my GA Lean Body guys who get any sort of injury, they're gym-based, work-based or on the pitch. The key is going to be making sure that you tweak your nutrition in alignment with the new injury so that you don't suffer too many losses in terms of muscle gain and you lose your muscle or you end up putting on too much body fat. The truth is, if you're not training at the highest intensity level because of an injury, knee, hamstring, groin, shoulder, chest, whatever it is, you're not going to be at a high training output, so you can pull back your calories if you're worried about adding too much body fat. Normally what happens with people is they keep eating the same food they were eating when they were training at the highest level and training at full capacity, and what happens is those extra calories can spill over and that can lead to weight gain or lead to fat gain. So what I would do is I'd start pulling back your calories. Personally, I take them back from carbohydrates. The only reason you'll consume carbohydrates is for energy. There's no essential carbohydrate. There's essential fatty acids from fat. There's essential amino acids from protein. There's no essential carbohydrate. All carbs do is give your body energy. There's a little bit of vitamins and minerals in certain sources, but all they really do is give you energy. So I tend to pull these right back. I keep my fat steady and I keep my protein high, and I keep my fibrous veg really, really high if I'm ever pulling back training from an injury. And this is what I do with people that I work with as well. Again, it varies person to person depending on how many calories you're taking, your specific goals, the injury you have, if you're able to train around it, and all of these different factors. But that's the number one thing I do, is tweak the nutrition plan. The same way as if you're afraid of losing muscle, keep your calories on the higher scale so that you'll at least be fueling the muscle that you have. Even if there's a little bit of a spillover on body fat, it won't be as much of a problem because it's harder to build muscle than to actually lose body fat out the other side of an injury. The next thing then is your training. I would, if you're not able to train at all, I'd make sure you're doing everything to maximize your recovery. Go to your physio, do your heat or cold therapy, do your stretching, your rehab, whatever it is that your recovery strategy is. Make sure you're doing that. And then if you're able to train around it. I normally put my athletes or my online program people through different versions of systems that manipulate around the injury. So for example, I had somebody come through my online program who hurt their ankle. So what we did was we just focused on upper body and we did a lot of bench movements where there was no weight going through the ankle, and you can just vary and tailor your program around the movements you're able to do so that you at least get the mental side of, okay, at least I trained today. What I find, and I know a lot of people will probably relate with this, when you're not able to train and you're going a million miles an hour and then you get injured and you can't train, the mental and lack of endorphin release you get from training can make you drop your mood, and I find training around the injury, even if it's only going in doing 50 or 100 reps on curls or shoulder press or whatever it is, that mental side tends to help, which also helps to keep you on track with nutrition. Again, I can only speak for me, but I know when my training goes out the window, I tend to not eat as well, and it has that negative cycle where you're not training well, you're not eating well, and it just continues. So what I normally do is try and get some form of gym work done that you're able to do. I used to go into the gym on crutches when I had knee surgery, purely for the mental side of it. I'm not recommending you do that, but it's what I did, and it just helped me on the mental side. I think a lot of where my arms and shoulders came from was from my knee surgeries, because all I was doing was curls and dips and things like that. So it is something that you can do, and you can train around it. Talk to your physio, talk to whoever's doing your rehab, but they're kind of the 2 main things that I would look into, and that should hopefully help with your mental side. Assuming you're doing everything on the recovery, maybe supplement with some lysine if it's a bone injury you have, and check out the different amino acids. If it's a joint injury, your glucosamine, your chondroitin for inflammation, your omega-3 to reduce inflammation in the body, your apple cider vinegar to take you out of an acidic state that may speed up recovery. There's lots of different supplements depending on the injury you have, but they're the angles I'd look at. Make sure you change your nutrition because of your new injury. Try and train around it if you need it for the mental kick, and then use any supplements that's going to be specific to that injury, whether it's a tendon, joint or bone issue that you have. So I hope this video helps. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, I'll be replying to comments for the next 24 hours, and hopefully this helps you guys, because I know it's something that I struggle with anytime I get a bad injury, so I hope it helped.